the Herald. I think, first of all, we're going to just start with the Citizen.
Absolutely.
And it's always a great newspaper to pick up and flip through, but you don't always get very much on the front page. But what we can tell you, we're still talking about the man in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just me or Herman Mashaba is everywhere. Everywhere. Action SA literally, I suppose, post results, getting so much PR, I suppose, for a reason. That is because he's the man in the middle right now. He seems to be the kingmaker, being courted, or at least being trying to be courted by the DA as well as the EFF. So, according to the Citizen, Herman Mashaba is the belle of the political bill, obviously being courted by the DA and the EFF coalition partner. Now, the DA obviously seeing him as possible there, but with the Red Berets, he'll have to back down on those tough stances that we know he has when it comes to immigration. So what decision do you think the Action SA will have to make?
One decision they are going to make, and they've been very clear on this as well, Toombs, is while they're being courted, as it's being termed by the DA and the EFF, who they're not being courted by is the ANC.
Right.
Herman Mashaba, very clear from the beginning, not going to get into a coalition of any kind with the ANC, but as we all know, the only constant in politics is that it changes. But up to now, Herman Mashaba very clear. And the reason is because in first-time elections for Action SA, the kind of numbers that he pulled, particularly in Johannesburg and Tshwane, also very significant on the national vote as well, could be the deciding factor between the DA and the EFF in Ekurhuleni and also Johannesburg, and which way that goes. So right now he is in the pound seat. So is green going to go to blue, or is green going to go to red?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's the question.
That's the question. But also what I found interesting is that, Action SA held that public participation campaign where they were asking, some of their voters to participate. I remember telling you that how does Action SA know that everyone that participated is an Action SA voter or an Action SA member? Because if I'm an ANC voter or an ANC member, how do I know that I would try and persuade, that vote or those results in that survey into saying, consider getting into a coalition with the ANC?
Anybody know? Were you an Action SA supporter? Did you take part in the vote? How did you do it? Maybe it was Face ID, Fingerprint ID, your Action SA membership card, gym card, credit card. I don't know how you would do it. But if you took part in that vote, that sort of public vote with Action SA, how did you do it? It's such a good question. How do we know it was legit? Maybe we can get Action SA on again and ask them. But that's what's happening in the Citizen. We also need to leave enough time, because we always love speaking to the Herald and Rochelle de Kock. Good morning to you. Hopefully you have better weather than we do. So the Herald, you're headlining with, "It is too late for sorry," and we will never forget the name of Jade Panayiotou, won't we?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, what a story. I mean, we all remember, that horrible case in 2015 when Jade was killed and her husband was convicted for it and he's serving a sentence. And fast forward, 6 years later, he finally confesses. He, turned state witness in order to try and nab the alleged middleman, Sioni. And now he was on the stand, he started on Monday, and he's giving the details. Apparently there was too much pressure on him from Jade to be successful and to spend time with her. And for those reasons, and splitting his time between her, his mistress, and running, the family grocery store, it was just too stressful. So he felt she needed to be taken out. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And what we've seen is Jade's family, sitting there and taking it all in. And he stood, and he faced the judge, and he says, oh, he's so sorry, to the Ings family for what he did. But at no point did he ever look at them. And that is why, the family says it's too late. We don't accept your apology for what you've done.
Rochelle, what I also find interesting about this headline, which I think the Herald did absolutely, brilliantly, is that while we're seeing this story regarding the family of Jade Panayiotou, at the other hand, Riva Steenkamp's family saying they're actually considering talking to, Oscar Pistorius, given that it's his parole time at this. It's the season whereby his a parole may be taken. So on one hand, we're seeing a family that was in this position wanting absolutely nothing to do with Oscar Pistorius, and now we're seeing a family heartbroken, obviously taken aback, saying they may never forgive Chris for what he did to their own. It should be heartbreaking, just reminding me of what the Steenkamps also went through those many years ago.
Absolutely, you know, it's unbelievable. But I mean, I think, you know, each family takes their time to grieve, and I think they sort of process and handle things in a different way. Perhaps in a few years, you know, the Ings family would have a change of heart. At the moment, certainly not. Certainly not.
It seems that a lot of criticism towards Christopher Panayiotou, someone saying years ago when this case first came out and he started apologizing, as I say, it's too late for sorry. Someone suggesting he's not sorry for what he did. He's sorry he got caught. It's a very big difference, very big difference. Rochelle de Kock, always a pleasure, the Herald newspaper. It's too late for